Hi, in this video I want to talk to you a little bit about how to kickstart your life. Now, you might be at a stage in your life where you're wanting to kickstart it and get going into a great and exciting direction. That could be that you're finishing year 12, you're finishing high school and you're wanting to get your career path started. You might be finishing uni, you might just be going through a separation and changing your life. You might even want to just change jobs. So many situations can come up where you want to kickstart your life again. You might even want to move and, go for a sea change and move to the coast, make these changes. So many things can happen, and sometimes it's kind of not easy to kind of know how to navigate that and how do I get my life moving. So the simple ways that you start to do this is you actually have to start to focus on, well, what do I really want? What makes me feel good? And what do I really want? So you've got to look, and whether you write this on paper, because sometimes if you get things out of your head too, that can get rid of the clutter, because we can often get very jumbled up in our mind with too many thoughts going on, and it's very hard to find a clear path to get yourself and your life moving forward. So if you write things down on paper, for example, you might even just go for a drive and start to look at towns down the coast near the beach suburbs and start to get a feel for things. So this is also about feelings. So when you're wanting to change jobs, look at your career path, you've got to look at things that are going to make you feel good, because there's no point doing things if you're not going to be happy in that situation. So that's probably one of the first tips that I would give you when you're wanting to kickstart your life and make some changes. You've got to really do the things that are going to make you feel good. Now, firstly, you've got to focus on actually getting yourself feeling good. So like I said, write things down on paper. You might write down the kind of occupations that you're interested in, or the different types of jobs that you could work in, or where your skills lie. You might even write down that you're very good with animals, or that you really love working with people, or some people it's more about working with computers and things like this. So we all have different passions. So these are the things that you can start to write on paper, and you can start to narrow down the lists. So that's the first sort of things I would be doing if you're wanting to kickstart your life. You've got to kind of narrow things down, because there's a big scope of things out there, and unless you narrow that down, you're not going to be able to get your focus very clear. So that's what I would be doing if you're looking at kickstarting your life. You've got to start to really narrow down your focus. That's very important, and eliminate all the sort of clutter and the overthinking and that kind of thing. But it's very important to kickstart your life. You have to see ways of moving forward. Now, a lot of people also will struggle with fear. When it comes to kickstarting your life, a lot of people get very stuck in fear, and it can keep them stuck in that status quo. So fear can be something that's very important to work through, because otherwise it's like almost safety. People will stay safe in that status quo, like I said. So I've got videos on fear as well if you want to learn some ways to move through fear, because fear is something that can be very crippling and debilitating, and it can really cause us to stay stuck in our life and not make changes. So that is something else that you really need to work through. Working through fear can be quite a blockage, but there are definitely ways to move through that. So go and check out my videos on fear. Another tip that I would give you when you're really trying to kickstart your life is you have to physically start to make changes. So like I said, you could go for a drive and start to look at towns that you like. You could actually start to really look through the papers and look at job advertisements and see what kind of interests you. And you could also start to make yourself feel stronger, healthier. These are all things. You might want to be, for example, a personal trainer. So you've got to get yourself healthy, fit, active. So you've got to look at the things that are going to actually take you into that direction as well. So once you narrow things down, you can start to focus on the things that will strengthen. It's like using muscles. You've got to strengthen those things as well. So it's about getting your mind into that good headspace and moving in those directions too. So that's the other thing that I would definitely start to do, is actually physically start to make changes by, like I said, moving yourself forward. Literally moving your mind in the direction that you want to go will actually start to make changes. And that's also about calming the mind too, listening to music, going for walks, walking your dogs, being around your animals, things that make you feel really calm and that can bring that real presence into that moment. That clears your thoughts, and they're quick tips on how to go about kickstarting your life. Start to simplify. I always talk about that a lot in my videos, and start to see ways that you can start to move forward, and then actually physically do that as well, but because it's that physical movement that will bring your thoughts with you as well, and then you'll start to move forward. So look, start getting active and start to make these real changes in your life, because you'll really get your life kick started in the direction that you want to go. So check out my videos, subscribe to my channel, of course hit the like button, and I will see you very soon. Bye.